Not that, but look, he's trying to go into the D to the N to the A, to try to see what because basically Esau's running studies, basically how finding out, that the Israelite DNA is different from the heathen DNA, So what Esau's trying to go real deep and then attacking the DNA that looks like an Israelite DNA.
Yep. Yeah. I was gonna make another point. Like sometimes even too with Moab being scattered amongst actual Israelite foreigners being scattered amongst Moab. When they deal with us, they'll get hard right with you. You know what I mean? You'll be in a Chinese store. I seen one time the dude looked like a straight up, like he looked like a Moabite, but how he talked and everything was just like a Jake that lived in the hood. He's like, yo, like, cuz, like, you ain't gonna talk shit to me, like, what's up? And I was just sitting at the dude, like, what?
Like,
like,
yeah, I'm fucking, I'm not sure if it was.
He was hard as shit, like, saying that way, He was using the slang and everything, and I knew he was not a Moabite, Even his mom, like, she give me a vibe like she might have been a Filipino and stuff, because they got like these cool little, like, their personality is kind of, like, they be kind of flirtatious too.
There's a brother that posted a video of this basically Moabite looking chick, and I don't know if you ever seen that video. He basically draws people on the train.
Oh yeah.
And he drew this woman on the train. Oh, yeah. He's like, I drew a picture of you, and she had this gangster type accent, like like from the projects and whatnot, but she was like a Moabite. And I guess she got a lot of hate for the way she looked. And then she came back and said, listen, I know I got a lot of hate for that video, but like this is how I talk. I'm not posing. And like she talked like a straight up Jake, man.
Yeah.
So like,
and that's what it is. And the donut, most Jake like go to these donut shops, these Chinese stores, and like that's just how amazing the Lord. That's drama. Just imagine, look, Moab scared of Jake. When Moab see Jake, they scared as shit. But they getting hard with you and talk shit right back with you, that's gonna be Jake. You know what I mean? Because how, even if Moab, they talk slick with you, it's a certain vibe with it. They're like, hey, get out! Like that, right? That's how they be. But this was like, nah, they talking shit just like Jake talk shit, But yeah, man, and we all experienced it, growing up in these hoods and stuff like that. And eating this stuff in the stores and stuff.
You got some Jake that eats Chinese food every single
night.
We
used to do that.
Chicken, rice, and broccoli. I like chicken, rice, and broccoli. I stopped eating the shrimp when I was like 14 years old. I always get the chicken, rice, and broccoli. Or get the wings, stuff with the ketchup.
Food in there.
And a pint of ice cream.
Food in there.
And get the pink lemonade. Ice tea. Big ass fucking
Yeah, that watered down ass ketchup.
Yeah, with that fucking duck sauce. Which
Yeah,
really
that
shit.
Egg rolls.
Yeah.
They wouldn't give you enough.
Soy sauce, right? And a bunch of sodium and shit.
Yeah, they would.
Yeah, nah, that's why that shit's terrible for you. If you're eating that shit every day, man, all that soy and estrogen will build up. That's why you see some Jake, they got titties.
MSG.
Yeah.
It's which is salt.
Yeah.
It's the salt. The salt kills you, especially Judah. Salt kills you. Judah is in love with fucking salt. Alright? Stay away from that. If you want to eat salt, but the more processed foods you eat,
ultra processed they call it now.
More salt's going to be. If you don't eat no processed foods,
you're
probably going to be deficient in sodium if you don't eat no processed foods. Because nothing really has salt in it. I'm telling you, if you don't eat no processed food, then nothing has salt in it. Alright? And you might be deficient. You might have to start doing like warm salt water or something if you don't eat processed food. And everything as a whole don't got no damn sodium in it. They got like 1%, 2%, or 0%. And that's an essential mineral. The iodine, salt and iodine. Alright, so be mindful of that.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, sodium has a recommended daily intake. It's just not all sodium is bad. What sodium it promotes basically, because if you don't eat any sodium, obviously you're gonna have a lower blood pressure. You might get lightheaded quicker. So sodium is obviously important, but obviously it's a balance.
Yeah, you eat every single time you eat fast food.
Ultra processed.
If you eat 3 meals a day fast food every single day, you're gonna be over fucking your sodium. 3 meals. So if you're a driver or trucker, I've done this shit, man. Then the energy drinks, that's gonna fuck you up. I used to work. I worked like 16 hours one time, and I couldn't. It was 16 to 18 hours. I think I drove from Massachusetts to Virginia, and then back to Pennsylvania. I almost killed me. I ate fast food energy drinks. I did that a couple times. You know, if I kept doing that, I probably would have dropped fucking dead. Doing that every fucking day, every 5 days a week.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, yeah, like that's why you see some people who be going to the gym. You know, they be putting salt in their water because you know their blood pressure rises up and they get more
Cali
pumped.
Muffins do that. Cali, that's why he got so fucked up, and he had a fucking heart attack.
Yeah.
Cali Muffins was in jail. He used to
Top
ramen
ramen
noodles. And that little packet, I forgot how much sodium is. How much sodium? Look up there. How much? 1,000. Just one packet.
Yep.
He used to do that shit while he was in prison.
That's a delicacy in prison. Oodles and noodles. The top
Again.
dish on the menu.
So a brother give me the false balance is an abomination.
Yo, Kyle, you got a precept?
I have one. Hold on.
Let the brother bring out precept.
Bayam,
What you got?
Yeah, you can. John chapter 7, verse 24. Judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment.
Yeah, exactly. So don't just cast away all just cast away everything because this guy he might have the appearance of a heathen. Nah, you got to use spiritual vision. You got to use that spiritual vision in order to see if this guy's an Israelite or not. It's a lot of brothers who they're.
It's like I haven't heard it in a while, but a couple of years ago, everybody used to always say that Edomites and GMS and all that because they basically looked up that other thing.
Nah, yeah, some that shit,
Yeah.
And I don't know if y'all brothers remember, but that's why I'm not even sure what year it was, maybe 2017. I don't know if you remember, but there was that spew of videos going out as "Am I a Hebrew Israelite?"
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And all the
we did that.
speckled
Bird.
type Israelites.
Yeah, because you got a lot of people like vocab alone. He's saying, these black Hebrew Israelites. Well, at the end of the day, we're not even blessed. I mean, first of all, we're brown, but anyways, you got brothers who got the appearance of a heathen, but they're in the truth, and they believe on Yahweh Bashni Shad.
That precept. Isaiah 25, verse 7. And he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people and the veil that is spread over all nations. And that's what the men of the Lord do. We out in the highways and the byways, and we lifting that veil of all the nations and showing you who the true Israelites are. It's not about your color, it's about your spirit.
God, exactly. So, can you read that precept again? John 7.
Get what's that Romans 16 John. What they say? That we the children of the Most High try to.
Yeah.
John chapter 7, verse 24. Judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment.
Yeah. So if a so-called heathen, looking person, or a heathen looking person come up to the camp, he's listening. Hey, funny thing is, you got a lot of Israelite camps. I would just say, where's the sea line go back? Oh, I'm from Sudan. Oh, nah, you a Hamite. Nah, get out of here, man. But it's really, this guy, he's actually asking sincere questions. He's really trying to understand. But you can't just cast away this guy just because his sea line may go back to, basically his father comes from a heathen nation. Hey, at the end of the day, you can't judge, according to our appearance,
You gotta judge King James. King James is a product of that. Right? I don't think King James is like super dark. I think you gotta get more fair skin. Mary Queen of Scots. I don't think she was.
Nah, she was like lighter.
more
Yeah.
fair skin.
Bring up
Because of the history, because of Julius Caesar. They're conquering Europe. What they do when they conquered Europe, but they pushed people out, they killed, put in slavery, and then had sex with their women. And then they became more fair skinned. And then when Esau came back into power, he did the same thing all over again. So now the Europeans are all mixed up.
Yeah, the other day I was at this property over in the greater Northeast, and at the property they had I seen a chick, she was on the balcony or something. She was or on a deck drinking like a Modelo. I'm like, what the fuck? In the morning and shit. So I'm there to, cutting the grass. And then the men came around. the men actually came around and they had, well, basically when I looked up their names and stuff, I already knew they was from Eastern European. They were Eastern European. One dude said he from Georgia, and he was like, the one dude he offered me, he's like, you want water? You want beer? And I'm like, yo, like what? And like he had a vibe like brother type vibe. Like a lot of times if you come in contact, a lot of these Eastern Europeans and stuff, they got a like an austere type of like the vibe or personality and stuff, but they like link, like they strong just like you. You know what I mean? That's what I got from it and stuff. And like it's like they your brother and stuff. It just they look a little different, and you'll see how they swag. They just like Jake and stuff. You know what I mean? Got this. You know what I mean? They ain't looking like straight up E. And that's over amongst Russia.
A lot of them deliver food. A lot of them deliver food and shit like that.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and they work hard as shit, right?
Bro, I'll be talking to them a lot, bro.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, they work hard as shit, man. And like they in the grind. They here in America working hard and shit. You know what I mean? Living like niggas and stuff, kinda. You know what I mean? Like I said to the dude, I was like, yo, you gonna get this bill for this? He's like, I don't want to even see it, man. It was just like, kind of just trying to stay covert. Because when you come to America and stuff, a lot of times they try to evade the system, right? Because they don't get sit back and stuff. And they be working like Moab. They'll have a head Moabite ship, get them here, and then you won't work in this spa or this Chinese food place, right? You gotta be. Yeah, that's how it be though. Seriously, they be in slavery. And Jake, remember we put as in slavery. You know what I mean? To this day, it just kind of like strange, but that's how the Lord is, man.
I got appreciate, but it all comes back, to the spirit, man. Even in Ezekiel 36 and 19, it says, and I scattered them among the heathen, and they were dispersed through the countries according to their way, and according to their doings, I judge them. So, we're gonna come looking, like Moab, Ammon, the Hamites. Light skin, dark skin, it's on the period, man, but it's the spirit and the will of the Most High.
Romans 8,
16. 11, right? 16.
Yep.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, the true prophets, they're gonna discern righteous judgment. They're gonna discern righteous judgment and not look only on the outward appearance.
Yep. Yeah.
Because it could be a tear, which if you don't know what a tear is, basically it's a person or a heathen that got an Israelite look to him.
Yeah, he could be a fucking chocolate color, like dark skinned and stuff. The guy could be dark skinned just like me, but his dad could be of Edom. Alright?
Yeah, that's why within some groups, it's a group of Edomites, it's that one Jake, he acts exactly like them. He gets along, real nice.
I even give you this story. In class jiu-jitsu or whatever, there was a kid that was one of the students, and he was a boy. Now, a lot of y'all know that Esau get with Moabite women, right? And have children. This kid had a fucking temper tantrum because the other Jake beat his ass in jiu-jitsu. He was crying. He couldn't stop. He was acting like had a powwow, like a pouting, going crazy, acting like Esau and shit. And I was like, yeah, thinking back on it, that had to be a fucking Edomite. But he just looked like a Moabite though, Hey, crazy. But it's everything double one into another. You can't even look at the other people as if they nation either. You know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta go and discern it that way too. Yeah.
Shit. I was on my other job. It's a lot of Jake there too. You could easily tell. The Edomites. I could see it. The Edomites were usually like the management type of people. But that job is real tough and hard. You know what I'm saying? So it was like these two people. They just had a lively spirit man on them. But they got red skin. They look like Edomite, but they just had a lively spirit about them.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's some chocolate covered Edomites out here too.
Yeah, crazy.
They work both ways.
Yep.
There's a lot of chocolate covered Edomites. You think Esau didn't spread the seed in it? in the Jake winning.
Slavery.
And then and after he did that, he put him on the field and made him work.
Yeah, among Ephraim. Got a lot of Edomites among Ephraim.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Among Argentina, Chile. A lot of Edomites down there. So get Deuteronomy 32:17. And this is why, even though back then a lot of them probably still look like, I wasn't there, so may have been. A lot of them probably still with brown skin. All right. Got it? Yeah. 32:17. Yeah. Go, he got it. Go ahead, read it.
Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 17. They sacrifice unto devils, not to God, the power, to gods whom they knew not, to new gods that came newly up, whom your fathers feared not. Verse 18. Of the rock that begat thee, thou art unmindful, and hast forgotten the Most High that formed thee. And when the Lord, the Most High, saw it, he abhorred them because of the provoking of his sons and of his daughters. And he said, I will hide my face from them, and I will see what their end shall be. For they are a very forward generation, children in whom is no faith. They have moved me to jealousy with that which is not my power. They have provoked me to anger with my vanity. And I will move them to jealousy with those which are not a people.
Those are the Israelite foreigners. Israelites that were Hellenized. Go ahead.
I will provoke them to anger with a foolish nation.
Right? So Israel, the circumcision, got jealous of the uncircumcision. And you see the same thing happening today. You got, they're saying, oh, we got Edomites in the camps and all that, or we got, or the northern kingdom not Israelites. Well, they will be considered foreigners. Even though we're technically all, uncircumcised, heart. All right, but they're looking at it in a color thing, a feature thing. All right, so the Lord is again provoking, a lot of these Judites, and on the other side you got some Ephraimites that are looking at Judah like, oh, Judah ain't really Israel. He had a small, they had a little run. They were saying Judah, there's no archaeological evidence of Judah being Southern Kingdom. You have some crazy talk like that, but there's more archaeology on the Northern Kingdom, which it is. I believe it is. A lot more artifacts, all right, over here on the New World anyway. So you had those two. So the two groups that don't believe each other, Israelites, y'all can just go and fight and kill each other. All right, y'all can just do that. All right. But again, the Israelites, whom don't look like typical Israelites, like Judah or whatever, the Lord is making other Israelites jealous of them because they coming in. All right, so read that verse again. You're doing the same. That happened back in the past. All right, but you can see on a level it's happening again.
Yep.
Read that verse again.
Yeah, if I can add to that, it's basically like
they jealous.
Yeah.
Right? All these Edomites in the camp, they don't look like Judah. 12 tribes of Judah, which is lunacy. Don't make any sense. You got 12 tribes in Israel. They don't only make that's don't only make no sense. Even if every tribe was a so-called black tribe, it still wouldn't be 12 tribes of Judah. That's how fucking stupid these people is, man.
Which this Edomite looking guy, you got 10 times more faith and works that you got.
Yeah, he know the scriptures. You a scriptural retard.
Yeah, you're over here on the couch,
that's exactly what was going on before. That was exactly what was going on back in the day, like to kind of add to his brother's point. Like back then, the distinction between the nation of Israel that were, of the circumcision, the uncircumcision was, the fact that they were following the commandments. So when they seen, when other Jakes that were clearly Israel, seeing that they were, whoring after other gods and seeing them like having that faith, they're like, well, they can't possibly be on the fold because they haven't been doing it this whole time. They're with the heathen. Now, since we all, as an Israel, fell away, there's still that because now we all are in this.
Now we all going on color.
Yeah, exactly.
Instead of culture and religion.
Yep. Because
of Esau.
Yeah, because all of Israel lost that heritage. So now, and remind you, this is all part of the curses that was always going to be. So now, you have these other, Jakes that see that, okay, we all fell away, we're all waking up, but this brother can't wake up because look at the skin color. So it's the same.
And that's because the Lord did that. The Lord did that. The Lord said he's going to break the bond between Ephraim. Find that? Where the Lord said he's going to break the bond between Judah and Ephraim. And that's exactly what he did.
Exactly,
He broke the
yep.
bond.
Because really,
this color thing and feature thing was never a thing.
Exactly. Before it was
just culture and religion.
Yep.
You know, and we got more right to David, to King David.
Yep.
You know, because we're near a king.
Yep.
You know? So, and then when there's another verse where it says, "What and the words of Judah prevailed over the words of Ephraim."
Yep.
You know, because Judah had a more fierce tone.
Yep. But
And they were more near akin to the king because they were Judites. So the Lord eventually, that arguments like that came to a head.
Yep.
And the Lord broke the bond between Judah and Ephraim. And I want you to get both points because the words of the men of Judah were more fierce than the words of Ephraim. All right, and I want what I previously asked for. You about to say something?
No, yeah, I'll just add to it and we get these precepts. But like, such as prophecy says, we all fell away. We're all going to fall away, right? So now we all fell away, but there still has to be that, that divide between Israel. And it came in, exactly.
Now it's color. Now
exactly.
Yahushua is using color now.
Right.
And features.
Yep.
And in culture too. Because it ain't just color and features, it's also culture.
Yep.
And divide the tribe.
Ultimately, ultimate is of the Lord, but mind you, it's also, from the damn devil Esau, because he doesn't want Jake coming together. The more divided there can be between Jake, the better it is. So like they want to play that color thing, they want to play black versus non-white, because that non-white thing, goes back many, many years ago to where it was basically just non-white, white and then non-white. Then it was black. And then it was,
he manufactured white because Esau's not white.
Yep.
And he is colored. He's fucking red, pale.
Yep.
All right. Everybody has a color. All right. You finished?
That's it. Yep.
What I asked you to get?
Yeah. Zechariah 11 and 13. And the Lord said unto me, cast into the potter a goodly price that I prized of them. And I took the 30 pieces of silver and cast them into the potter in the house of the Lord. Verse 14. Then I cut asunder mine other staff, even bands, that I might break the brotherhood between Judah and Israel.
There you go, the kingdom of Judah, kingdom of Israel. So he did that. He did that when he gave the 10 tribes to Jeroboam, I believe. Right? What's the other scripture I called for? So that bond has been broken.
Yep.
All right? The bond is broken. Now it's being mended. We're being in Baruch. It says he's drawing us back by the word. Somebody find that.
Yep.
Somebody get what I said, the words of the men of Judah. They're more fierce. Find that. We have more right to the king because we have nearer kin. That's another precept. All right, so little bickering arguments like that, all right, little low-level hatreds, all right, came to a head, and the Lord used that to divide us.
Yep.
All right, the other precepts which says there was sore war between the house of Israel and the house of Judah for years and all that, Yep. But that bond was broken. All right. Let me get some help. All right, so we can't and get Baruch where it says I believe it's in Baruch that we're going to be drawn by the word together, gathering the children of Israel together.
Yeah, and that's the most important thing. That's what his brother was kind of going into. The only thing that's going to draw us together is not skin complexion. All right, it's our belief. It's our faith. We can't even go on the record anymore. We can't even go on genealogy like we used to be able to do back in the ancient world. We used to be able to go to our forefathers. It's no longer based upon that. It's solely based on the faith and on the word. So all this other nonsense, about how broad this brother's nose is, or his grandfather's father. What did he look like? Where is his genealogy? Some brothers just don't have that. We don't have that record no more. So we have to simply go on the faith. Simply go on the truth. That's why it says try every spirit. So that's what it's going to come down to. What do we believe? And that's how it was back in the ancient time.
You had ain't no Edomite that's in the camp going to continually be around darker skinned people.
Yeah, cursing out
lighter, so-called lighter skinned people. It's not going to happen.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
He's going to get if the actual Edomite is going to get offended.
Yep.
All right. Every brother got a burden to bear and a path to walk. A purebred Edomite ain't gonna stand there and take that shit.
Yep.
He gonna get this run on like, shit.
Yep.
Fucking niggers.
Yep. I'm not offended on Esau's perpetual damnation, or his ultimate damnation. I'm not, because they try to say, basically, I'm probably of another descent, not of Israel, But like I don't find no.
Which that's funny because nobody can prove that they're from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Nobody has a record to prove that. So for these Jakes saying, like his father, his grandfather was Edomites.
Yeah, you think
Well,
that
yeah.
might have been Irish. And the Irish go back
Found that
to
precept.
Judah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Judah
exactly.
ben
But what about you? You know, your line could go back to Ham, Ethiopia, or even Edomite. You know, maybe the Edomites just slept with a whole bunch of black people. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you don't know.
And if, like the brother said, like back in the ancient times, you know, they were basically comparing themselves on how much they had that record. They literally had the record on being an Israelite, but they weren't following the correct doctrine. That's why Yahweh came and basically, told them, like, listen, like, you're not on my fold. These men are on my fold.
Yeah. So Khan, I was about to say, for these jakes, they over here on the couch, smoking a blunt, and then as soon as they see
shit about people that's actually doing the work.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So over here smoking a blunt, chilling on the couch. As soon as the camera pans, to fair-skinned brother, oh, look, see? You be on the comment board.
That nigga talking about they letting them talk too? Goddamn house.
Nah, remember that ball? Remember that devil in D.C.? The devil in D.C.? Remember that dude in D.C. that was fucking with Dabaq? The dude was screaming, remember? He always come out of camp screaming. He's like, you should be over here. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Dude.
It was a Judah, Jake.
He was screaming, remember? Yeah, drunk dude.
Man, remember that fucking one spirit we had to deal with, not to get too off topic, we go to the scriptures, but remember that one spirit we had to deal with? The dude that was always like, you Puerto Rican out? He used to come by every week. Every week.
He used to say that.
He gonna say, he wait for the one day I say no.
We would have in the middle of a debate. He looked dead at me and said, you Puerto Rican out? You Puerto Rican out? Yeah, it was a straight spirit, like a demon, a demonic spirit.
Nationality demon.
Yeah.
Check nationalities out. You got different spirits. You got nationality demons, you got time-wasting demons, you got yelling demons, you got dancing demons.
Then you had
he was a nationality demon.
Then you had one. Then you had one dude say, "I know you." He said the Dabaq. He said, "I know you Israelite." He said, "But what are you?" And he looked at me.
Why? How you saying the word nigga? How you saying it? What context you saying it?
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Yep.
But read that.
2 Samuel.
Go up a little bit.
Yeah, 2 Samuel 19, verse 41. The point is at 43. And behold, all the men of Israel came to the king and said unto the king, why have our brethren, the men of Judah, stolen thee away, and have brought the king and his household and all David's men with him?
That was the king of Jordan. That's Israel, Ephraim and the other king tribes.
Verse 42. And all the men of Judah answered the men of Israel, because the king is near to kin to us.
And this is where jealousy comes in at. All right?
Yep.
But
wherefore then be ye angry for this matter? Have we eaten all the king's cost, or have he given us any gift? Just the point, 43. And the men of Israel answered the men of Judah and said, we have 10 parts in the king, and we also more right in David than ye.
Saying we got more numbers than y'all, so we got more right to the king. All right? But read.
Why then did ye despise us, that our advice should not be first in bringing back our king?
So the kingdom of Israel is saying, this is before they were broken up, but the northern kingdom is saying, basically, why ain't y'all being fucking fair? All right? So our advice should have been taken. And this is what Judah said. Go ahead.
And the words of the men of Judah were fiercer than the words of the men of Israel.
Right? So, and that's where the jealousy comes in there. And when the scriptures tell you about the jealousy, vexing Ephraim and all that, get that precept? Yeah, but read that verse. Somebody else get that. And I want you to read that verse again.
2 Samuel 19, verse 43. And the men of Israel answered the men of Judah and said, we have 10 parts in the king, and we have also more right in David than ye. Why then did ye despise us?
Not because their father is Judah, and David came out of Bethlehem, I think. Go ahead.
That our advice should not be first had in bringing back our king?
Yeah, so Judah didn't even consult them. They said, no, we already got this. We can handle this. What?
And the words of the men of Judah were fiercer than the words of the men of Israel.
Yeah, so there's jealousy there. Yep. All right, so get the precept by Judah. Judah should not vex Ephraim, and Ephraim should not envy Judah. Yeah, because that's where the envy and that's where some of it started at. I'm sure something was there before, but that's an example. Envy, you got it?
Yeah.
Read it.
This is the book of Isaiah.
So even though we're near kin to David, our father is still Israel. All right, Israel, Jacob. What?
All right, this is the book of Isaiah 11 and 13. It says, the envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim.
Yeah, so just because Judah's the head tribe, just because Judah's more near kin to David, all right, the throne of Yahushua, all of Israel, they're all still Israelites, all right? So no Israelite is going to be excluded, all right? That's a vain thing. The thing just because Judah is more near kin, which is he is, but he isn't, because both our fathers are Israel, Jacob. All right, so our line all go back to Israel, Jacob. All right. It was just a thing. No, you can boast about it. Oh, I'm a Judahite. I'm a Judahite. You know, your father can't, which don't really mean nothing. It don't mean nothing. All right. Just because you're an Ephraimite, you still are a prophet. You had prophets that were Benjamites. You had prophets that were Levites. Prophets that were Ephraimites. Prophets that were Issachar. All the tribes. You know. The Lord gave certain blessings to certain brothers. All right, depending on who you are, you know, as an individual. You know, not what tribe you're from.
Yep, and that's why, like, really, no nation can really boast itself against one another, because we all fell away. Like every single tribe fell away. Yeah. Yep.
So where is boasting then? It is done because all what did God look down from heaven? It says that in the Psalms originally, Yahweh, to see if any done righteousness and good. He said none. There's no, not one. They're all going aside.
Yep.
All right.
All going aside.
None that's doing good.
Yep.
All right. So nobody can boast. That's why the Lord said He broke down the middle wall partition, the law. All right. So now we're all since we're not being judged under the penalty of the law, now we're all on an equal footing now, all equal. So now we have to put our effort forward to do the will of the Lord.
Yep. Make a call in election, sure. Yep.
What Revelation 11 speaks about, you know, the two prophets, which those two prophets represent the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom. You know, basically coming together and, you know, taking down this kingdom, Esau's kingdom.
From the spirit of our mouth.
Exactly. Khan, through the spirit.
He made a lot of our women of Judah, Ben and Levi, wicked as hell. They're all wicked. All women are wicked.
Yeah.
But He exceptionally made tribe of Judah, Benjamin and Levi, extremely wicked, so that a lot of the men of Judah will go to the other tribes and bring back, and vice versa too, and bring back the nations through the different women from the different tribes. All right, because a lot of because you might have like say an Ephraimite that look like an Edomite, right? But if he get with a Judite, all right, or a darker skinned person, it'll bring back the viciousness, the color.
Yep.
And the Lord will mix, because the Lord is about drama. He'll mix it up, all right? Or he'll do it the other way around. He'll make that one in that family line lighter skin, because the Lord can do that. All right? Yahushua is the creator. All right? He created everything visible and invisible.
Yep. And if I could say too, like, you know, you had like a lot of intermingle, or Esau intermingle with the, you know, our tribes and stuff. But like, if an Edomite woman or an Edomite man sleeps with a Jake woman, right, and it births a daughter, the lineage ends there, right? The lineage ends. The daughter can't carry on Esau's lineage. So now, if our nation gets back, our nation sees that,
Issachar.
Exactly. If our nation sees a fair-skinned woman now and it's attracted to her, just because it's birthed by an Edomite father, that's not the Edomite lineage. It's now, and then I birth a son from that's carries on my lineage. So like I said, you had a lot of intermingling, but if Esau birthed any type of, or if our Jake women birthed any type of woman, daughter, it stopped the genealogy right there. And then our people intermingle with the daughters, but it just continued our lineage, but on a different physical appearance. You know what I mean? So you got to keep that in consideration. That's why everything's scattered, and you can't really go off the physical. You know?
Yeah, it ain't no half white and half black.
Exactly.
That's just external. Biracial is only external. It's not the spirit. Right? You quarter there, 2 quarters, this and all that, 25% this. But you mostly a white man. No, you mostly another spirit. Because you got simple jakes out there that don't ever want to address topics like this because they don't want to go into the argument. But then they'll say, how do you tell? You can't tell. You don't even know for sure. Motherfucker, you still don't know for sure anyway. So that's not even a damn argument. So all you going on is how you look.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right? And Jake's simple. I'm talking about Judah when I say
Yeah.
that.
I mean, hey, at the end of the day, you know, those Jakes who don't want to go into that, you know, they're like, oh, well, you know, how, you know, basically saying, how can someone tell if he's an Israelite? Well, really, you're a hypocrite, because how can you tell if you're an Israelite?
Yeah,
Or
they
not?
don't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
Well, it says in the scriptures, woolly hair, skin of brass. They say
Okay,
that.
yeah.
They say it
Okay,
like that. They
okay.
say skin of brass.
Yeah.
They're fucking, they strip their
Yeah, yeah. I mean, what, Ham?
Brass, woolly hair.
Yeah. I mean, what, Ham is like fucking 10 times darker than you are. You know, Ham got woolly hair as well, so what if you're a Hamite?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you gotta understand too. Back in the ancient times, man, it was never a debate really on what you look like. Now, sometimes there was accounts where basically, like, depending on how good you look, people were more appeased by hearing from that person, right? And then certain kings and stuff like that, like they wanted that person to be a king because they looked, you know, better, right? But realistically, it never had anything to do with the other nations. It was always about like the culture and the spirit and the truth, right? It's always about you know, the laws, right? So that was really the distinction. It was never about, you know, oh well, Moab and Ammon, you know, they had, what's his name, had, relations. Yeah, Lot had relationship with his daughter, so, you know, they kind of looked a different way, and that's why we don't fuck with them. It's like, no, because they had a total different spiritual mindset, all right, and a totally different, cultural and, how can you say, like a lawful view that wasn't according to Yahweh Shai and Yahweh Shai and his elect nation of Israel. So, like I say, when you go into the scriptures, you won't really see that distinction. You'll always see the distinction of, you know, that you know, leave them alone because they're following false idols and false gods. So.
Jake is gonna say Esau's name should be on top of Judah because his father is Isaac.
Oh yeah, yep.
Why?
Mistranslation. God love y'all.
Oh yeah.
You know, it was a mistranslation. That's something you might think.
Yep.
And it was a mistranslation, like the Ishmaelites. They say about how Ishmael wasn't chosen. When Sarah said, "Cast out the bondwoman and her son."
Yep.
All right. That was no mistranslation or misunderstanding. I believe it was Sarah, right?
Yep.
She said,
yep.
"Cast out the bondwoman," which is Egyptian or was it Syrian? Egyptian or Aram? Egyptian. It's cast out the cast out the bondwoman and her son.
Yep.
I know Abraham had one. But it was Abraham.
Yep.
Abraham. I believe she was either Egyptian or Syrian. I believe she was Egyptian. Y'all can fact check.
Yeah, and you know, when Esau was born, and it was a clear distinction of how he looked. They literally made it known that he looked like something. And they didn't say, oh yeah, you know, fucking Esau is X, Y, and Z because he looks fucked up. No, it was basically he sold his birthright, right? And he gave it onto Jacob. And that's why, he's all that shit that happened to him and all that. It has nothing to really do with
Isaac. Isaac was a prophet.
Yeah.
So he prophesied that Esau was going to be, he's going to get the dominion.
Yep. Through the sword.
Through the sword.
Yeah, through the sword. Yep.
Yeah, and that was a future prophecy.
Yep.
It wasn't going to happen immediately. And one of those kingdoms was Macedonia.
Yep.
All right. And then Roman Empire. Then he fell asleep for a little while and he came back into power.
Yep.
Around 1300s.
Yep. And then, like I said, the whole point of what I'm trying to make is like this confusion of like skin tone and appearance and all that is really more so new.
Right.
And they're trying to use it as just a way to break up Israel. You know what I mean? And try to, create that divide, because back then there was none of that divide. The divide was simply what you worship. That was a clear distinction. You knew who the children of Israel were by what they worshiped. But now that since we all fell off, and Esau has amounted himself as that eagle up in the head, basically saying that he is God. Now like we're kind of combating against that. We're combating against the truth. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to be hate somebody that you grew up with. Right? Like you lived in the same house, like that was your brother or your sister.
Yep.
Even if y'all look different, y'all grew up together.
Yep.
It's like almost not even possible.
Yep.
Because you grew up with them, even though they look different. You grew up with them as a child.
Yep.
So you already used to them. All right. So, but Esau, he broke the bond using his witchcraft to separate peoples based upon their skin.
Yeah, it's funny they draw a fine line because no one looks the same. Realistically, no one really looks the same. I mean, unless you got twins and stuff.
All
yeah,
lighter skin.
Yep.
I'm
But like,
darker skin.
Yeah, but then when they draw a fine line, like,
Same
okay,
father,
we
same
we all have different thumb, you know, that saying, we all have different thumbprints, right? We all have different thumbprints, but once you have this type of nose and this type of color, now is a difference. Now you guys can't be the same.
Right.
Now
that
there's
Esau generated all that
Exactly,
shit.
yep,
That's
yep.
all comes from the so-called
Exactly, yep.
white man, Esau.
Yep.
Esau's the devil.
Yep. And our people adopted it. Our people adopted
guess
that
what?
philosophy. Yep.
Go back to Deuteronomy 32. Was it 32? Did you have something else? No. Somebody else had that. Who read Deuteronomy? No, you read Deuteronomy. No, you read Deuteronomy. Yeah, you read Deuteronomy 32. Go back to Deuteronomy.
I could bring out something real quick.
I had that. I was gonna say I had that Baruch that you wanted.
Go to the point. Go to the jealousy.
Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 21. They have moved me to jealousy with that which is not the Most High. They have provoked me to anger with their vanities, and I will move them to jealousy with those which are not a people. I will provoke them to anger with a foolish nation.
So, like I said before, on the level you can say right now, you got certain other Israelites getting jealous of other groups of Israelites because of how they look. Like, oh, you like that straight hair pitch or whatever.
Yep.
Well, I mean, hey, it's your fault.
Yep.
I'm talking about the black woman, obviously. The black woman specifically has the first right of refusal.
Yeah, look at him.
So if she
See the bird's wing? It's all black, but it's got color on its wing.
the black woman has refused to get with the so-called black man. All right, so now the so-called black man has gone to the other tribes and to the other nations to find suitable women and harlots.
Yep.
You know?
Which, if I could say, the other thing too, like to my point and to this brother's point, like there's nothing wrong with that. However, it was said to not do that, but why? Because we were gonna go. The Most High was afraid that we would go a whoring after those other gods, which we ended up doing. It wasn't like, oh, don't go after the other nations' women because they're gonna start looking crazy. No, it was, don't do that because you're gonna fall in love with their gods and follow after their gods and forget the true power. Like I said, it's all about the truth and what is right, not about the skin color, right? Like I said, if that was the case, when it was said damn, why did I just forget the damn, who basically was basically going after all the women, man. He was King Solomon. Salaki, I couldn't think of the name. King Solomon went after all those women, but it wasn't like, oh, that's gonna cause all this confusion when you look upon Israel. No, it was about the whoring after them other gods and going after the gods of them other women, the other nations, right? So
yeah, so you got the black woman. The Lord made her a fucking demon.
Yep.
So what the Lord did was He turned the heart of tribe of Judah and the other southern kingdom to go to the women of the other tribes, right, and of the other nations. Mainly of the other tribes. You know? So now, because they're Israelites, just because we're of the tribe of Judah, doesn't mean we can't marry with other tribes. Yep. They're still Israelites, all right, and they can marry amongst Judah, all right. And the Lord did that. That's another way of bringing the nation back together by us marrying each other, all right. And right now, got the black woman jealous because she has the first right of refusal. All right, she has the first right to the Judite man. All right, she had the first right to the head tribe, right? But she fucked it up. All right, so the Lord made her a demon, made her independent, made her strong, so the Lord could eventually destroy her ass. And the elect men are going to go with the women of the other tribes. All right, now the women that are doing the right thing, that this simply doesn't apply to you. All right, but the Lord did that. The Lord made a huge number of Judite women wicked as hell. All right, because you were wicked as hell back then too. All right? Yep. And that's going to again bring together the bond between Judah and Ephraim by intermarrying with you. That's how you make peace. You marry, you give your daughter away, you give away to each other, and that's how you make peace with different families. All right, so the Lord is doing that. All right, so the Lord is, He's about drama, provoking the jealousy. That's what the Lord does. All right, controversy. All right. And it's on the Lord's timetable. It's on His frame of mind, not ours. We see it on the earthly level. All right? And we can see it on the spiritual level too. All right? You'll see the different tribes get together. All right? And 50 years ago, it wasn't like that. But the tribes are coming together now. and he's making certain things happen within each so-called community so it can ease the process. All right. Even though Judah got a bad name amongst all the tribes and amongst all the nations, was still the most powerful, most influential.
Yep.
All right. And you got the mental illness, amongst the women is cancerous among all the tribes, but mainly among Judah. All right. And for that very reason, that's why Isaiah the 3rd chapter was written. So we're gonna go into that. You got a precept no more? You got Isaiah the 3rd chapter. You got a precept?
Yeah, I got precept.
Go read what you got. Yeah.
This is Hosea chapter 4 verse 1. It says, "Hear the word of the Heavenly Father, Yakalba Page, ye children of Israel, for the Lord have a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, no mercy, nor knowledge of the Most High in the land."
Right, and what is the woman now? What does the woman want to do? What do the men want to do? They want to do their own thing. They basically don't want to be under no. They basically are self-willed, and they don't trust men. So the first thing they talk about is how much money they can get. All right. So any woman that's up front starts talking about money, that's a whore. All right. That's an undisciplined whore. All right. That may be disciplined for you for a time. All right. Watch out for the signs. All right. Most women, you just need to stay away from it, especially that particular one, that particular tribe of tribes. All right. She started leading with money. Because remember, one of the quickest ways to get to fail in life is 3 ways. All right. It's gonna cut. All right. It's gonna cut. There's 3 ways to surely fail. All right. Be too close to your family. It's a family weigh you down. All right. Get a dumb bitch pregnant and sign bad contracts. Those are 3 ways that you are sure to fail. If you fall into any of those 3 traps, you on a road to fucking destruction. All right. Family, bad contracts, and getting a dumb bitch pregnant. All right. So read the 3rd chapter. Isaiah 3rd chapter about the daughters of Zion.
Yep. A haughty. Yep. It's Isaiah chapter 3, and that's starting at the top.
You got people that are 15 years behind because of shit they did 10 years ago.
Yep.
Because of shit they signed and got involved in.
Oh.
Yep.
The daughters of Zion are referring to Judah, Benjamin, and Levi.
Yep.
Daughters of Zion.
Yep.
Yeah, so
And the curse, particular curses, other tribes have too, but mainly it's referring to Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. You go ahead.
Yep, it's Isaiah chapter 3 and 16. Moreover, the Lord, Yahweh saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty, and walk with stretched forth necks, and want.
What does that stretched forth necks mean? Meaning that they're divas, which is a demon actually. When you look it up, a diva, like a demon or something. It's like a demon, or muse or some shit. I think I looked it up a minute. Y'all can fact check that. But the divas, they're all about their money. They're not humble. All right, they lead with your wallet. All right, they're into the ass shaking thing. They're into the twerking thing. That's a real demon too. They'll share stuff on Facebook, random shit. Some bitch shaking her ass. All right, because they're whores, basically. They got the whore mentality. Even if they're not physically out there as much, they have the whore mentality. All right? Stretch forth next. They're not humble. All right, this to whom it may apply.
Yep.
All right, you guys hear that?
Yeah, I had met this, I was working, I met this one chick, I was doing this job, and then the chick referred me to another chick. The chick was actually from a sorority. She was a black bitch, but she she looked like she lost weight and such. And then, so I tried to talk to her. They got this business thing going where they basically got like a event where they go. They got guys that had like considered high status, right? But when I ended up asking, I was like, look, I was being straight with her. I was like, listen, I don't take chicks out just straight. I'm not just gonna do that. You gotta take me out to eat or something. No, so I'm not just gonna let you take you out to eat. You giving me red flags or something like that. Like this chick, she was on a level because she was able to walk on the Eagles field or something like that.
No, yeah, she got overly inflated ego. They say that.
I'm like, so I'm like,
because she did it a few times, she thinks she got the right to it.
Yep.
yeah. But you should, and then the chick was like, basically like, oh, but you still should come to my party and support me. Like,
Yeah, she basically these little mind tricks. Basically, when a woman, especially the black one, she got to talk real fast, and try to get you to do something, it's witchcraft.
Yep.
You know? If you intelligent, you ain't gonna fall.
Nope, hell no. She in a sisterhood, we call that.
Pull with momentum and carry you into an agreement.
Yep. Yeah, and we Jake not gonna feel like, cause the one she tried to say like cause I pretty much talked to the other chick and I was like, yo, you actually be perfect for my other friend. And then the other kid, she's like, I live in Delco. She says she live in Delco and like she was at, and then I look on her Instagram and see that, oh yeah, we at Fridays tonight. You a nigga. Who go to Fridays? We don't eat at Fridays. Like if you high value, like you live in Delco, you went to this university, we don't eat there.
Steak 48.
Yeah.
You don't eat at a higher end restaurant.
Right.
But a lot of women, they're just faking.
Yeah.
They basically, they never experienced this high quality life. Remember, when the martial law comes in the time of refreshing, all that shit ain't gonna matter. All this, you want to live a good life and all that, they're just projecting something that they never, they live the life they see on TV, see on magazines and shit. They never actually experience it. Or like they say, you know, on the internet, they got fucked by an NBA player and then they think that's their standard now.
Yeah,
you know?
NBA player.
Yeah, I know. I have a personal testimony. There was this.
I got a precept real quick. This is the book of Ecclesiastes 7:26. It says, and I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets.
Yeah, that's the full momentum I'm talking about. They talk real fast and get you to agree to something, you know, and say the shit that they require, you know. These are bitches that you just pretty much just be with them for a fun time, not a long time, as they say.
Scriptures tell you to not lust after a woman for her beauty, right? Because you don't want to be enamored by a woman's beauty, not understanding what really lies beneath the skin. All right, which is rottenness. A lot of these women are rotten to the core. And that's what we're reading. Their heart is snares and nets. They're looking to try to trap you up. Okay? So it says, I find more, and a woman ain't gonna come and tell you what her plan is for you. She's gonna lure you into the trap. You know? And then when because remember, a lot of these women are what you call succubuses. They're just trying to drain your energy, your sexual energy, your resources. Yeah. And then when they get bored of you or whatever, because these women, these women are not loyal. Okay, they're not committed. And the moment they feel any sort of tension or pressure, they're looking for an exit strategy. Okay, that's one of the curses on these women. Because technically, a woman, if she pleases not to dwell with you, right? She's not supposed to necessarily go deal with another man. Right? If it don't work out between y'all, she's not supposed to go deal with another man.
That's her fault for that.
Yep.
She's supposed to be in the leadership position.
Right. Well, she don't have a right. The scriptures never tell you that a woman could divorce a man. It's always the man under specific situations can give that woman a bill of divorce. But if she leave, she can't go lay with another man like that. Hold on, because he got a testimony, so I just want to.
Oh, no,
I don't want to think sequentially. Let me finish the precept, and then just because you mentioned it, we should, bring it out in the scriptures. It says, whose heart, meaning mine, is snares and nets, and her hands as bands. Okay, trying to trap you up. Whoso pleaseth the Most High shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her.
Yeah, she'll escape by it. She'll escape from it. So if you please the Lord, then He'll help you.
That's why you got low quality men who are still with these wicked ass women. They can't leave them. Because of their mentality. See, Jake got a fucking self-esteem issue. If you valued yourself, you wouldn't continue to be in a toxic situation like that. You'd fucking leave.
You would just be she'd be like a night stalker. You see her in one, like at nighttime. But she wouldn't be with her real, for real.
But, you know, you have to do certain things to put a barrier between you and those toxic situations as much as you can. You know? So you gotta put a space cushion there. Because these women are looking to fucking drain you, man. You know, that's what they've been taught. That's what Western culture, Western society, Babylon has taught these women how to be. You know? And then these women in general, they've been set up as agents of Satan. You know? When the serpent went to Eve in the garden, that's where Eve then went to Adam and caused Adam to sin. Okay? She's the weaker vessel. But anyway, your point.
I was gonna say, you know, going on to what the brother was saying about how like they get this inflated ego. There's this one woman, not a good-looking woman at all. She was telling the story about how she had slept with an Eagles player, and then later revealed that it was some bench backup player or whatnot for the Eagles or whatnot. But basically, she has this inflated ego where she goes on these dates and she goes to certain bars and gets all these drinks for her and all that. But like, she's not a cute girl, but she like has this high inflated ego. And in so much that she told the story like, oh yeah, I slept with an Eagles player, so like that gives me value. I'm able to fucking rope these guys. But it's like, okay, first off, he was a fucking bench
ball.
Yeah.
One night
And even still, like that doesn't give you no value. Even if you did fuck, Carson Wentz or some mainstream quarterback or wide, like that doesn't give you no value. All you it's just some woman that you fucked.
Yeah, it's a walking contradiction, anyways. Because by one standard, women don't want to be objectified by their beauty and by their body, but yet they're out here objectifying themselves and saying that they're bagging people up. So which is it?
Yep. Monkey branches.
And that's the thing. For every partner that a woman has, she actually is devaluing herself.
Yep.
You know, mentally and physically, especially mentally. Psychologically, these women are all bugged out because they slept with all these different men.
They're the ones that's insecure.
Yep.
Woman. Now they're the ones that's really insecure because they don't know how to they only know how to do is have fun. They don't know how to properly cook a meal and source fruits and vegetables. Why? Because they're too busy fucking trying to work and do all that shit at the same time. When you go out, your body develops like an odor, a musk, different fluids excrete from your body. So women in the workforce are fucking filthy because they're really not even supposed to be working. All right. Within the capacities that they work right now. So a woman that works a lot, in certain fields, they're really fucking disgusting.
Right? And the ones that got working at harder jobs, like construction jobs, they start looking like men.
Yeah. Strong as shit. Fucking beer belly like a dude and shit.
Nah, hey.
And a wide ass thing. Fucked up, man.
She got calluses.
Yep. Yeah, calluses. Beer belly.
Yep. Yeah, that's not feminine, bro. Women are supposed to be feminine, and men are supposed to be masculine. You know? Because in this society, they teach you that there's no such thing as gender roles and madness. But see, that's off balance. That's confusion. Because the Lord specifically set up a man to be the leader, to be the head, and a woman to be the follower underneath of the man. Okay? Because women are not good judges of character. This is why they get into bad relationships in the first place and abuse themselves through that liberty. And they turn around and they talk shit about the men that they're with, but never address the fact that they're poor decision makers, which is why they shouldn't be in leadership positions, nor should they have the freedom that they have now, because they have totally abused themselves and caused a lot of different. Well, hey, we just read it. Okay, a woman is more bitter than death, and scriptures also tell you that all wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman, and it's clearly demonstrated in a woman's actions, man. You look at an example of just what one woman has done. Women that and look at all the fucking chaos she's left behind her, trail of nothing but instability and toxicity. Talk about male toxic masculinity. Nah, man. These females are responsible for a lot of death, a lot of confusion. They say that Fraternity fraud is an all-time high. And who's responsible for that? Who's responsible for that?
And then there's laws that are in place that even if the woman does
you have in this society the idea that abortion is a human right. They're actually advocating for the murder of their own children. But they will never admit that. They try to rationalize their position by saying, oh, it's just a bunch of cells. You got one demon. And a lot of these women that think like that have the mindset that it's what do they call, a parasite. They call their developing child a parasite. That's how destroyed mentally these women are. To refer what's supposed to be a very beautiful transition for you going into motherhood, right? To refer to your developing child as a parasite, these women are destroyed. And that just goes back to the brother's point that the majority of the fucking women of our nation, particularly the black women, they're gonna have to get fucked up out here, man. Micah 7 and 10. Now, I didn't write that, but we defend it because it's written and we know it to be true. Okay? We foresee, we have the ability of foresight. These women aren't gonna change. So it's gonna take some drastic measures for some of them to get the hint, but most of them, they're gonna have to be destroyed on this side. That's why the brother's saying we don't need a black woman to bring back the nation. Use the other tribes, we can use the other women of the other nations. Because the children are counted for the seed. Women don't produce seed, they conceive seed.
And think about it, when we're perfect and we won't go off, there would be no reason that we would sleep with another nation's woman and then fall after her gods. We're gonna be perfect in that. So we're definitely gonna have concubines in other nations.
Yeah,
all
we
right.
have 12 tribes in Israel. We have plenty of other families.
Yep.
amongst our own people.
Yep.
Yep. Exactly. Yep. And on top of that, you have all these nations and all the women of these nations alone that we could wipe up, you know.
Yeah, each man in the kingdom, I'm gonna tell you right now, each man in the kingdom is gonna have multiple wives. Multiple, as many as he desires. That's gonna be a right of all Israelite men in the kingdom. All right, whether you are a part of the 144,000 or you're of the seed of the 144,000, because that's how the rest of the nation of Israel is going to ultimately be brought back, you will have that as an inheritable right. It ain't going to be like now, you know, brother, you know, you got to try to, you know, finesse this girl or not finesse this girl. You know, listen, this is the boundaries. That's just already going to be known. It's going to be known already. You know, but of course, the women of our nation, just to make this distinction, the women of our nation, you're going to want to be around the women. Right? She's gonna be adorned, right? Yeah. Yep. Yeah. She's gonna be nurturing again. She's gonna be feminine. Yeah. But y'all got it. Y'all got it.
Ishmael got it on this side. When we go overseas, you know, the women over there, they happily accept, you know, Ishmael having more than one wife. So it's done. You can see it. So in our kingdom, it's gonna be the same way. You're gonna be happy for your husband to have more than one wife.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a part of your. It's gonna be a part of your spirit.
It's got to treat equal, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, Apostle Dahar, Elder Apostle Dahar, he even said that basically every single Israelite man will have at least 1,000 women. Why? Because Solomon, he had 1,000 women, you know. So, and we're all gonna be kings as well. So
yes. So you think about Solomon, he set the standard for a lot of things. With all the wisdom that he had, he set the standard for a lot of things. He set the bar. He set the bar. So if you're gonna measure it, you're gonna look to Solomon, right? Yeah. Which was ultimately Yahushua. So he set the bar.
People might think 1,000 wives is too much, but we're having new bodies. So
We're gonna be the God.
We're
gonna be
new
gods.
bodies, right?
We're gonna be gods though.
yeah, I mean, think about it. You know, every brother will eventually have their own planet, right? So,
well, the earth and just the earth itself, yeah, we're gonna have other, you know, because the Lord said that in my house are many mansions, but the earth itself is going to grow in size. See, this idea of overpopulation and that's a lie, man. There's already a lot of uninhabited land on this earth, on this one earth. But then this very earth itself is going to expand anyway. And then just like the brother said, then there's going to be mansions or other planets that we're going to be able to inhabit.
And that's like, if I can say, the earth one is cursed. That's why there's a lack of food and stuff like that. The earth is cursed. That's why we can't inhabit some parts of the earth, right? But like once everything's all in its glory, you'll be surprised at how much land there really is. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything compacted into one little area when it doesn't have to.
Can I say something just real quick on that? Because you made a point about how some people might think that that's too many. But what did you think when the Lord, not you specifically, but what did people think when the Lord gave the commandment to be fruitful and multiply? Yeah. Have one woman who might give you 5 kids at most, she gonna be done. Done. Yeah. And we're talking about building an empire. We're talking about each man having his own enterprise, right? In the kingdom. So you gotta not be small-minded. Yeah. Can't be small-minded, man. See, they want you to believe that in this kingdom, you know, you get yourself one woman, you might have a couple, you might have 2 kids, you get yourself a dog, you get yourself a house, the white picket fence. They want to undermine the kingdom, bro. They want to limit you as to what you're able to do. But then even in this kingdom, you think about affordability. A lot of times you don't be having a lot of kids or you don't be doing those types of things because you know it's going to cost a lot of money. It's going to cost a lot of money. Where you going to get all that money from? So it's just a weak mindset here in this kingdom of confusion.
Yeah. I mean, you know? What? Like Esau's in that spirit of Exodus 1 and 10, right? That pharaohism, they see.
And you'd be anti-slack, brother. You'd be anti-life to think, oh, that's too many women. That's anti-life. Be fruitful and multiply. So we're supposed to be multiplying. And by more than just one woman. All right? That's pro-life for your ass, okay? And this kingdom ain't pro-life. They're anti-life. Yeah. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, Khan, as I was saying, you know, what? Pharaoh was in that mindset of not letting the Israelites multiply or else they'll be greater, you know, than the Egyptians, right? So Esau got the same mindset, you know, he's pushing out the spirit of overpopulation. You know, whenever he be making these documentaries of overpopulation, you know, he only be showing like, well, NYC, he be showing, you know, China, you know, all these highly dense cities, but he doesn't show, you know, the rest of the world. But what? At the end of the day, you know, Esau's putting the spirit out there because obviously he doesn't want anything to be out of his control. What? Yep. He's trying to bring the whole population to 500 million, you know, because that's the number he believes that, you know, he can have control over. So, yeah.
You're looked down upon too if you have multiple women. They crucify you. Yeah. You understand? Like if you have several, like 7, 8, 9, 10 wives in America, you'll be crucified.
That's the worst thing that you could do is have more wives. You could be a sodomite, you could be a transformer. Yep. All that is accepted, but if you have more than one wife, you're finished.
Yeah, you're gonna be a fucking cat.
Exactly.
And then, you know, nothing bad. You'll be praised for that.
Yeah, it's its own.
Oh, Doja Cat was being a cat.
It's its own thing. It's its own thing. They call them Therians or some shit like that. That's their own thing.
Doja Cat was being a cat.
People are literally fucking dressing up like fucking animals and like getting on. It's mainly Edomites, but getting on all fours and running around like a fucking dog or something.
Then you got that furry fucking.
Yeah, exactly. It all ties into that shit. That's that. I don't know the history. I don't know how it evolved, but I wouldn't put it past it stemming from that, which that's all fucking perversity anyway. It's all perversity.
Bestiality.
Right. You be praised if your so-called child was going through gender dysphoria and you set them up on gene therapy and all this other hormone therapy and gender reassignment surgery. You'd be like, oh, you're so brave. But a man can't have more than one woman because he's weak, he's this, he's that, and so he's all these things, which is nothing more than fucking projection. The only one that can't handle it is you. You can't handle it. Because you got a weak mindset. You got a weak mindset. We're talking about the expansion of the kingdom of Israel. You over there talking about, why should you have more? You know?
Yeah, I mean,
Get out of here, man.
I mean, really, that's anti, lifestyle. Because, again, when we're in the kingdom, we're gonna have many sons and children. So why wouldn't you, as a woman, want to increase that? Think about it. I mean, having multiple women, that's lawful, right? So you, as a woman, why wouldn't you want your husband's, kingdom to grow, right?
Sarah gave Hagar to what's that? Abraham. I think.
Yeah. And you know what? We coming into a time where there are women actually opening up to that idea. Now they won't come out and straight tell you that, but they'll say, "Listen, if he dealing with somebody on the low, I just don't want to know. If he coming home to me and taking care of me, I don't care. He ain't bringing nothing to that home, and he is a focus. I don't care what he's doing off to the side. But see, that mindset is going to evolve because they're going to be okay with it because they're going to understand the actual purpose, the intention, and how it all is going to be in harmony with one another. Everything's going to be in harmony. Right now, you don't have that mindset because everything is utter chaos. So you're more inclined, to think in terms of confusion and chaos because that's what's prevalent out here. That's what's prevalent. And arguably, to have multiple women in this kingdom is not ideal anyway. Right?
The 7 women taking hold of one man is going to happen before the destruction.
That's going to be before the destruction. Yeah. That's right. Because you got to think. It said that a man is going to be a hiding place from the wind. So you're going to have women be humbled by the destruction that they see, by the barbaric nature of people, and they're going to have to get with a man who's following after the Lord, who's being protected. Because that's the ultimate form of protection. They're going to see that. They're going to understand that. So there's going to be no debate. Oh, you and her? Nobody going to care anyway. That's not going to be a discussion.
Is it messing up?
Yep. Yeah, come. Yeah, so when they see food scarcity, right? When they see
people getting raped,
right? When they see that they can't call on the police, right? These white knights done abandoned them. All those beta male orbiters who were friend zoned going to be the same people that she going to be running away from because they going to open up.
They mad.
Yeah. They what are sexually repressed. Right? But anyway, keep it moving.
Yep. Oh. Yeah. So Isaiah chapter 3 and this verse 15 now. I'll finish reading from the top. It says, moreover, Isaiah 3:16, moreover the Lord Yahweh said, because the daughters of Zion are haughty and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, walking and mention as they go and making a tinkling with their feet. Therefore the Lord will smite the scab of the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and Yahweh will discover their secret parts.
Yeah, made them bald-headed. Made some of them bald-headed. All right, a scab. They got the alopecia.
Yeah. Listen, chick I just talked, this Benjamite, she's like, I'm like, why the fuck, why you hiding your head? Oh, I got alopecia. I'm like, that's a curse. I said to the chick, I know that's a curse. She didn't want to hear it, but they want to hear the words of the book. They don't want to hear that though.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Not every Judite woman has that.
Yeah.
Judah, Ben, Levi. They have the other ones. If you keep reading, it's going to give you other curses.
Yep.
Because all the curses, you're not going to inherit every single one of them, line by line, but you'll inherit at least one of them, or two, or all of them.
Yeah. And then, funny thing is, you might tell a woman that, that basically the scab on her head, or, her bald-headedness is from the Lord, putting a curse on her, but she'd be like, oh, actually, it was me, because, I was putting chemicals in my hair, and no, it was me, it wasn't the Lord.
That's the curse. The stupidity is part of the curse. That's the idiot.
Yeah, I mean, what?
The Lord also said that he was going to make it so that we couldn't save money.
Oh, first be the basket.
Well, I bad contracts. I talked about that, right? Well, I did something stupid a few years back or a week ago, so now I got no money. All right.
That's a curse. Yep.
So
that's a
curse.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, what scripture say? Man's going to the Lord, so the Lord made you do that. You know, because you wanted to envy the so-called white women.
Well,
you know,
the Lord said that He was going to send our people strong delusion that they should believe a lie and not receive the love of the truth.
Curses. We're all under the curses. So whether somebody's doing it to you or you're doing it to yourself, or you think you're doing it to yourself, all right, it's still a curse. All right, that's an argument they try to say. I know I did it myself. So what the hell is a curse then? They can't even define that. All right? It doesn't matter where it comes from. The point is that it's a bad time you're living in, evil. That's
evil from God. It's literally what a curse is, evil from God. All right? Or more accurately, more precisely, evil from Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. Okay? Which are the true biblical names of the Heavenly Father and His Son. Okay? True biblical name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh, and the true biblical name of His only begotten Son that sitteth at the right hand is Yahweh Shai. Okay? Yahweh Bashim Yahweh. Yeah.
You ever seen any one particular individual writing all the curses hard? You know what I'm saying?
Say again?
You'll ever see any one particular individual writing all the curses like, you know, really hard, you know what I'm saying?
Riding the horses?
Writing all the curses hard, you know what I'm saying? Like they're going through it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yep. Verse 18. It says, in that day Yahweh will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet, and their claws and their round tires like the moon, the chains and the bracelets and the mufflers and the bonnets and the ornaments of their legs, and the headbands and the tablets and the earrings.
Those are accessories that make women beautiful. More beautiful, enhance their beauty. What?
It says the rings and the nose jewels, the changeable suits of apparel, and the mantles, and the wimples, and the crispin pins, the glasses and the fine linen, and the hoods and the veils. And it shall come.
Now their bodies are just exposed to the public view. Because back then, a woman's sexuality was privatized. Now it's public. Yep.
And it says, and it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink, and instead of a girdle, a rent.
Yeah, and it stink. There's a lot of women that stink because of the foods they eat and the jobs they work. So that combination makes their pH balance all fucked up. All right.
Multiple men to sleep with.
Yep, and the different cocks.
I seen there was a post that I seen, and they were having a debate, and it had to do with women, and they were debating how a woman's pH can be thrown off, and all the women there was like saying shit like, "Tell me you don't know how a vagina works without telling me, right?" And they were saying that, well, y'all are the reason, talking about the men, y'all are the reason why our pH be off. But wait a minute. Exactly. Think about what you're saying. Because you're saying something without realizing that you're saying something about yourself. If you're claiming that it's the men, who's responsible for providing them access between your legs? Again, another example where it is highlighted that women are not good judges of character. Because if you actually cared about your feminine health, then you would be very particular as to whom you let come in onto you, right? You'd be selective. And if you were being selective, you would do a vetting process. Women don't do that because they act on impulse and desire. They're gonna go to the club, they're gonna go to the bar, all right? And the first or 2, 3 guys that come in that meet whatever high standards they have, they'll go down the list. Okay, well, he ain't the right height, but they'll be looking. Oh, is he spending money? What kind of drinks is he buying? Right? That's y'all problem, man. Men got to get their shit together too, but we're focusing on the women right now. But yeah, pH. Food you eat, like the brother said, y'all be eating that fucking shrimp. Yeah. Fucking crab legs, fucking Dr. Pepper, You know, like just all nasty stuff, man. Yeah, fucking hot Cheetos.
Lobster.
Fucking yeah, man. Junk food. A lot of junk food. A lot of high processed.
Ultra processed. That's the
Ultra,
word.
you know,
Ultra
super ultra mega processed foods.
Wendy's, Dunkin' Donuts, Turbo Shots.
Yeah.
Dairy.
Dairy Queen.
Man can eat, has more liberty to eat what he wants, but a woman, it'll affect your body differently, affect your smell and all that, your mood.
Yeah, you know these women are wicked because a lot they don't like the idea of eating salad. A lot of women don't like the idea of eating salad, bro. They got to be eating all the most nastiest shit that they could find. Fucking McDonald's, all that shit, man.
And they'll go to Wendy's, McDonald's, and get a salad. They won't even
Yeah, there you go. That's what I'm exactly. Yeah, they don't want to go to the store, get some kale, get some spinach, right? Get some arugula, right? Get the spinach and arugula mix.
Some balsamic vinegar.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Avocados you can cut up on there. There's different things you can put on there, but they're fucking lazy. You know? Lazy.
And a lot of y'all ain't drinking enough water. You're drinking.
They just drink soda.
You're drinking basically high fructose corn syrup all day. That's all y'all drinking. High fructose corn syrup. You know, with all the soda and so yeah. Then don't be buying like good juice.
Nope. That's like.
You know.
He ate like cheap GMO. He ate juice that's not even 100% juice. It's mostly sugar.
Yep.
And then, over here buying Tropicana, thinking that they're doing something good.
Oh, the orange juice? Oh, hell no. Don't even drink
Make
orange
my
juice.
stomach hurt.
Don't even drink orange. They ain't fucking orange juice.
That just make my stomach hurt.
Diet soda.
Like 2 oranges in there. The rest is water and sugar and shit.
Yeah. Right.
Give me a small drink. And they go to the movies
Even if it
a
says
lot.
100%.
Yeah.
They have a certain percentage. You can't squeeze 100%. You have to put like 30 oranges to get a damn 16 ounces, man. They ain't gonna put fucking 30 oranges in there. They have a certain percentage, whatever it is, they can still say it's 100% juice. It's a certain percentage wise. All the juices are like that. Like if you wanna make a ginger drink, ginger's not no liquid. You have to put water in it. All right, so you have to put a certain amount of water in it. So Esau got some kind of percentage where he can add a certain amount of water to it, and it still be 100%. So they can adulterate it with anything. You know what the orange juice I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's deceptive language.
Yeah. Then they'll say no pulp, so you really think you're drinking all orange juice.
Yeah, no pulp. Oh yeah, it says no pulp. Yeah, it says no pulp.
No pulp.
Yeah, it's just this is marketing.
From
Yeah, that is true. It says
concentrate.
no pulp. So I was just no pulp in this one. Oh yeah, they squeezed the orange in this. I'm drinking the orange like off the field. Now the Issachar pick, you know. Nah, man, you drinking fucking sugar and like one orange and like sugar and water.
And the oranges that they used were all seedless. Yeah. I'm just throwing that in there, but because now you go buy an orange, that shit's fucking seedless. And you be lucky if you find watermelon that isn't seedless.
Yeah, you get
grapes,
lucky.
seedless. Like all the fruit is like seedless. Like you'd be lucky to find anything that got seeds in it.
We got organic cucumber.
Right? Figure that one out.
Yep.
And they want to talk about freaking, basically a lack of supply for fruits, but then they want to take away the one thing that allows you to continue to multiply the fruits and vegetables.
Anti-life.
Yeah,
He's
and
anti-life.
they want to freaking take away the seeds. Those seeds that are so supposed to be in those fruits and vegetables and stuff like that is what creates more of that fucking product, produce. But they want to make sure that they keep it out of there, for your quote unquote convenience.
Right.
You don't have to spit them out. Yep. So Isaiah 3, and it says, and instead of well-set hair, baldness, And instead of a stomacher, a girding of sackcloth and burning instead of beauty.
Yeah, man, you're gonna look like a damn Michelin tire, and you're gonna be ugly.
They say that the average woman's height, at least in the States, I think the survey was done in, the average height for a woman is 5'4". But at 5'4", the average weight for a woman is 175 pounds. And that's what the brother just said, a Michelin motherfucking tire. 5'4", 175 pounds.
Michelin tires are long last.
Well, then maybe we need to one of them off brands, some Dunlops or something, I don't know. Or no, Dunmore or whatever the hell. I like Coach Greg had like a busted Pillsbury dough can.
When you pop it,
Looking like a busted Pillsbury dough can out here.
Yeah, those are the curses. That's because disobeying the Lord's commandments. Daughters of Zion are haughty because the woman's supposed to be humble. Because in the day of the Lord, before the Lord come, martial law, the hour of temptation, is either Esau's not a good man. Just because you able to buy and sell don't mean you ain't gonna get don't mean you can't get murdered. Because remember, there's going to be different turmoils and crises going to be happening when the implant is instituted to be law. So you're still subject to dying in a bombing, mass murder, diseases. Still subject to all of that, even with the implant. So you can think you can take the implant and you'll be safe, but you're not going to be safe. You're still going to be subject to being destroyed, being in some way. And you might not even make it up to getting the implant. It'll be turmoil before that the implant is instituted. Where it could be a mass carriage attack, another disease, and that could Lord could bring judgment on you because of that before the implant even comes, or it can happen simultaneously. And that's when you're going to know who the Lord's chosen is when the elect are going to come together. All right, but the men, the women, they're going to come together during the time of Jacob's trouble. All right, because the man, as is written, is going to be a covert from the storm, the tempest, which is a storm. And that's the flood, the Esau coming in. All right, is there more in that?
Yeah.
Isaiah?
Yep. He had a point too.
You have a point in there?
Yeah. It says the average black woman is 187 pounds. With the BMI.
Wait, 187?
Yeah, 187 pounds with the BMI.
Yeah.
Murder or something?
Yep.
Shoot it?
Yeah, with a BMI of 32.2, which is considered obese. Well, if it's over 25, that's overweight, but over 30, that's considered obese.
Right. Do they have the height there?
The height, they don't really show the height. Let me see if I can find it.
When was that survey dated?
2022, March 31st.
I got a niece that looked like an aide. Like walking like Dr. Robotnik. She was put in foster care because my sister was fucking up for like 10 years. And they finally got back together. And she looked like a damn, like Dr. Robotnik.
Now, I do want to say real quick, even though this is primarily talking about the black women, a lot of the tribes got that condition. You look at Issachar, oh my gosh, man, that's just crazy. They be walking around 5'2", blown up. Blown up. The woman, the children, blown up.
And she got 8 kids. I'm like, who the fuck?
Tortillas.
Freaking chorizos and carnitas. Yeah, all that white rice. Arroz.
Nah, to be honest, I don't think Issachar be eating that much white rice, but they be eating like 15 tortillas each meal.
Yeah, but no, just the tribes in general.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so they under the curses. Yeah. Even up that just mainly Judah, Ben, and Levi, but those curses go on all the tribes and on certain ones. About the stomacher and all that, which is supposed to hold your stomach in to be fit. And now it's a rent. And burning instead of beauty. Burning meaning looking ugly because know, you gotta have a fat ass face, a fat ass head because
All
of
that
the
fat,
diet.
yeah,
Because of
yeah.
your diet, and you might have certain conditions. You know? Yeah, because of the salt. Because if you eat, like I said earlier, if you eat all your meals with all fast food or whatever, the salt content goes up. Because if you eat, I said this earlier, if you eat just food that you prepare yourself, 99% of food has no sodium in it. Naturally, no sodium. You have to add the sodium into it. So if you don't use salt and you don't eat no fast food, you'll probably be deficient in sodium if you don't cook with salt. Because every food naturally doesn't have sodium in it. 99% of all foods have like 1%, 0%, 2%. If you make everything from scratch. But as soon as you do the fast food thing, every meal, often your sodium content will go through the roof. And then it's in various forms, such as MSG, and sodium, and salt. All right, with different names describing the same thing. All right, or variation, or the same effect at least. You say that same effect. It's gonna raise your blood pressure up if you over the daily percentage value. All right, but if you eat all your foods, if you make it yourself, you would have to add salt to your food. All right, to get the actual salt. And if you don't use salt, then you're gonna be salt deficient. All right, because you're supposed to salt, like you said earlier, is iodine. You need the mineral. You need the minerals in it.
Yeah, I mean, but even the Lord said, what, for one of the offerings, not to be sparing with the salt, right? In the law.
Yeah, it says in the Apocrypha, right? They say about salt, right?
Yeah, about one of the chief things.
Salt one of them?
Yes.
Chief.
But see, with Judas, he goes overboard with it. Everything that, if you eat fast food every day, it's going to have salt in there. And it's going to compile on it. Compile. And then you're going to be over that shit. You say it on it?
It's another one in Leviticus chapter 2 and 13. It says, in every oblation of thy meat offering shalt thou season with salt. Neither shalt thou suffer the salt of the covenant of thy power to be lacking from thy meat offering.
Right, so you need that iodine. There's iodine in there. Preferably, I think the pink Himalayan salt, I think it's supposed to be the best over sea salt, because sea salt has the mercury in it because of the water. But then it's such a low level anyway.
Yeah. Celtic, that's a heavy metal, the mercury, right?
The sea salt, we didn't have in ancient Rome. That's a new invention out there.
Yeah.
I mean, refined, like taking it out. Like, of course you're gonna have sea salt on fish. But actually, like, compiling it,
they extract
salt,
that
that's
joint.
new. That's a new invention, I believe. I don't think they were doing that ancient. They were actually mining salt to get salt, right? That's what they were doing?
Salt mine,
Salt mines. You got more than that?
Yeah, it says, with all thine offerings thou shalt offer salt. So,
just don't overdo it.
Yeah.
Be mindful of the fast food you're eating, especially if you have certain issues, be mindful. As you get older, you start to lose track of certain shit, and you think it's all right, you're not immortal. Jake think they're immortal and shit, man. And nothing never gonna happen to you. No. Especially if you're a child of Judah, you better watch that shit. All right? Because you'll end up with I forget exactly what, high blood pressure. I don't know what it can cause, but heart attack.
Yes, heart attack, strokes, I think.
It can cause stroke.
Yeah, I think
I thought strokes was when you high blood pressure.
High blood pressure.
So that's when blood don't get to your brain, right? That's a stroke. So whatever restrictions, arteries clogging your arteries, and then the blood don't get to your brain, then you can't function till you have like strokes and shit.
Something in your body.
Got a precept?
Yep, go ahead.
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, or Sirach 39 and 26. The principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron, and salt, flour of wheat. This is Ecclesiasticus, or Sirach 39 and 26. And it reads, the principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron, and salt, flour of wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of the grape, and oil, and clothing.
Read the benefits. Somebody look at the benefits of the iodine. And clothing?
Yep.
Yeah, so you need this mineral. All right, just take, you overdo it. You know, you overdo it. No, this Ephraim-Fruitful or Judah? I think she's Ephraim-Fruitful. She made this macaroni and cheese for me and my friends one time. This is years ago, and it tastes like this whole thing is salt. But you hanging around Judah too long, Judah too much. It was macaroni. Yeah, it was a Velveeta, but it would just taste like salt. I'm like, damn, you just fucked the whole macaroni and cheese up. Total salt. So she had been hanging around Judah for years. Or she can't just fucking cook, and she thinks salt is the remedy to cooking. You know, yeah, a little bit of salt, not adulterated. You adulterating the food with salt. All right.
That's like Chi-Chi, they make your business on that?
Who?
Chi-Chi. Nah, that's the
I don't know what that is.
You talking about with the cheese?
Oh, Chi-Chi.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I never explained that recipe.
That's a gel entree.
Gel entree? Oh,
Chi-Chi.
Chi-Chi?
Noodles with sometimes it's toothfish.
Oh, okay. Yeah. They just throw everything in there to get the calories on it, right? Yeah.
A meal on the iron.
That's why when a man of Judah is over 50 and he still look healthy, it's rare. You'll see somebody that said they're 55 but they look 30. Why you look like that when everybody else look fucked up?
Salt. Well, whatever they eating to bring their blood pressure up and all that. But a lot of it has to do with salt.
So, when taken in moderation, it says iodine helps the thyroid gland in the neck to make the hormone thyroxine, or thyroxine. Thyroxine controls many of the ways certain cells work. Thyroxine is important for the growth of bones and nerves and how proteins, fats, and carbohydrates are used in the body. Iodine is important before birth and in babies and young children.
Research and don't overdo it. Stay healthy. Don't get one body and you ain't getting no younger.
Yep.
So as you get older, you'll start developing more and more issues with your health. I know brothers don't be saying nothing, but you know, you gotta just watch that salt intake, watch your fast food intake. You know, eat greens. If you can't eat greens, put it in the blender, mix it with a banana, okay? And almond milk, and you can drink a whole bag of damn greens. So you got no excuse. If you can't eat greens, put it in the blender, almond milk, and a banana. That's the simplest recipe you can do it. You can eat 3 handfuls of greens. It takes work and labor to do that, and cleaning and stuff. But that's why Jake don't want to do it, because you gotta prepare it. And otherwise, might as well go buy a cheesesteak. It's easier, it's faster. But if you can't eat greens, just put them in a blender, almond milk, a banana. You can develop other recipes. That's the most basic thing you can do is a banana and almond milk and kale. And you can digest those greens. All right. Whenever I get lazy, that's what I do. I just do that and I digest it. And I got my green, I got my chlorophyll and all the benefits of the kale. And I bought a big ass bag of kale. I'm sure they got pesticides in it, but those they're widely available. But you wash them, water and peroxide, throw it in the blender. Blend it. That's a shortcut. If you don't want to get shit stuck in your teeth and all that, Jake, we kind of lazy at times. So the blender will solve a lot of your issues. You just have to do the work. All right.
Yeah, this is the book of Sirach, chapter 30, verse 25. It says, a cheerful and good heart will have a care of his meat and diet.
That's powerful.
Yeah, so, and when you the more you do it, the more cravings it'll take down. The craving is never going to go away for fast food. They don't think it's going to go away, for most people. Right? But you can greatly mitigate it a lot, being a realist, You can greatly mitigate it by doing these, use the blender technique, all right? As a shortcut for your laziness, all right? That'll help. Get a juice bag, squeeze the juice out, Now, when you squeeze the juice out, you are taking some of the fiber out, but not all of it. That's why you still do the kale, blend the whole thing and drink the smoothie. So sometimes you can juice, but you are taking some fiber out. Then you can just do the smoothie, do that different combinations. Right? So it'll balance itself out. Right?
Yeah, I'm going to read this again. It's Ecclesiasticus 30:25. A cheerful and good heart will have a care of his meat and diet. You know, we always point out how these people are operating off a low vibration, and a lot of that is due to their bad diet. You know, they're making all these decisions off of what's actually a poor functioning body. A poor functioning body equates to a poor functioning cognitive state. So you're not thinking as optimally as you would with a good diet. A lot of people got parasites because they're consuming a lot of junk.
And abominations.
And the sugars that you consume are feeding the parasites. When you got a lot of parasites in you, people become very irritable. You lose, again, cognitive function. Let's give an example, such as brain fog. The ability to think more clear and focus has a lot to do with parasites. You want to know more? We planted the seed, look it up. But that's, a lot of people are, you know, getting crazy because of a poor diet. Because it's linked spiritually. And we just read it to you in the scriptures. You know? And when you're eating better and you're living more healthy, right, those things are put in check. You're not having these imbalances. And a lot of what's going on in your mind is chemical imbalance. It's causing you to act out and do crazy shit. Look at the way that people get when they drink, suck down them fucking energy drinks. And then you look at the advertising. Monster. What do these people are? Monsters. You know? That's not a coincidence. You know? But anyway. Unsweetened, right.
Unsweetened, regular. It still has preservatives in there, but, you know.
Or you already were given
got to deal with it.
You can make your own almond.
Well, yeah, that can get a little expensive though. But
yeah, well, but it's
a lot of yeah, it can be done. But nuts are expensive. Yeah, they can be done.
Beans are expensive too. They're more expensive than if you buy them out of a can. But if you get the beans, you soak them, that's the better option than buying them out of a can. And my woman really into that. Like every time I go for like a canned beans, they're like, well, this is the quick. She's like, why are you buying that? Like, cause well, listen. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, well, first of all, I told her, I said, listen, I know we're trying to do as best we can, but you know, you got to keep things in check and balances. You know what I mean? You have my pockets be hurting. She's like, all right. But then I changed my mind. Like, you know what? Nah, let's not spare the expense. Let's get the let's get the right stuff. You know. But it's extra work, you know, preparation. Like you said, Jake don't want to go through that, but you got to build that discipline. You know, you got to build that discipline. You know what I mean? Like anything that you do at the beginning, it's really laborious, it could be tedious, it kind of turns you off, but you're doing it for what's ultimately going to be a reward, right? It's deferred, you know? We're so used to this constant instant gratification. You go into a store, you buy something, bam, you're satisfied. You know? I always go into this. That's why Jake don't have no appreciation for anything. Wait till you can't go into a grocery store, man. You know what I mean? Like, wait till you don't have the conveniences. That's why it's important to be getting this truth, the real food, the real nourishment. Because it's the only thing that's going to keep you stable. You know, the way a balanced diet keep you stable for now. Well, spiritually, the only thing that's going to keep you stable is having a balanced relationship with Yakalba Page and having this word, having this truth. You know? So.
Yeah, because you're technically supposed to, one more point. Because the woman's supposedly, she's supposed to be technically doing all of that. Yeah. The man's supposed to go out and work, you know, work like a damn slave, bring back the money, you know? And the woman's supposed to, you know, give her a certain allowance every week to take care of everything in the house, the food and all that. That's ideal. Most times that's not going to happen, but if you can get the situation like that, that's good, you know? And she might have a part-time job, or she just might be a stay-at-home mom. Preferably, you know, the latter, the stay-at-home moms who take care of the house, you know? So you will be free. You're not worrying about, you know, cooking and cleaning and loading the dishwasher or you know, washing clothes. It's already taken care of, you can focus on the ministry. You know, that's ideally what's supposed to happen. Right? But you know, the current distress is, you know, it's not always like that. Every brother's not going to have a decent woman that's going to. She might not be righteous, but all the way, but she might be half decent, and she'll do those things. You know, she'll cook, clean, she'll organize. You know,
because she might not have the skills when you get into a relationship, but if
she's willing to learn.
You, she's gonna follow your lead. Yeah. So she's gonna learn.
There's a bunch of YouTube videos, endless YouTube videos.
She's gonna learn because she's gonna be inclined to please you.
Right? If she values the relationship, she's gonna be inclined to please you. Yeah, well, you know.
She gonna stay at home. She gonna do all that shit.
Yeah.
Not shit. She gonna do all that. You want the privilege of staying home, you gonna live in the road. Alright? You gonna know how to cook things from scratch, bake bread, all that.
Yeah. But I'm saying is you gotta be the foundation. A lot of women don't know how to do that, so you have to encourage that. You might even have to be in the kitchen cooking a meal, and she gonna learn. You know, because you got teach her how to. We gotta teach her how to do that. Because you know, here's the thing about these women. Women have cell phones, but they do not use them for the right purpose. They on social media. They want to be entertained. They don't want to use the smartphone for the smart part of it. With all this, I have people, among my family, females. They'll call me and ask me some shit that they can look up on their fucking phone. And I know y'all probably had similar experiences. Like, you calling me from the phone that you can answer your own question with. Hey Siri. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey Siri. You know? But anyway, you know, so you gotta lay the foundation, encourage her. You know what I mean? She gonna fuck up the first couple of meals if she don't know what she's doing. That's why she gonna need guidance. You know, you gotta step away too. Let her manage you. Cause she'll be leaning on you. Listen, you cooking. I'm over here doing my thing, you know what I mean? And then she'll get better over time.
She's not the only one that did it, but she made the replica of Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich, the whole meal and everything. The sauce, the chicken breasts, all that. And it looked almost exactly like the Chick-fil-A version, but it takes a lot of work. Yeah. So if the woman is willing to learn, she can watch those videos and replicate those fast food stuff, so you'll be less inclined to go to the fast food place. That's her job, to actually mitigate your work. That's the scripture said that she's a helpmate.
That's it. Yeah.
All right, so I want that one, and I want the helpmate scripture, and that's all I got. I want that. You got the scripture I asked for? Read that, and then I want the woman being a helpmate.
All right. This is 1 Timothy chapter 5, and I can start above. But it says,
it's not above.
Yeah, I'll start at verse 9. I start at 6. It says, but she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth. And these things give charge.
Chinese food every night, not cooking, not willing to learn.
Green beans.
That's living in pleasure.
Green beans.
Gotta be willing to learn. Gotta be willing to take instruction. Too much free information out there for you not to know how to make a replica of how about the Krispy Kreme? Chick-fil-A. If you're a woman that's staying at home, you should be an expert baker, expert cooker. Like my mother is an expert baker. You know? Expert. She can make any chocolate cake, pineapple upside down cake that you make and rum on it. All sorts of baked chickens and pancakes. Expert. You know, my dad's the better cook, but my mother's the better baker. All right? And she stays at home. But
it says, and these things give in charge that they may be blameless, but if any provide not his own, and especially for those of his own house, he had denied the faith and is worse than an infidel.
Yeah, so a man's supposed to be the head of the household, bring in the majority of the money. And that's what women want. Women want you to make more money than them anyway. So they feel more secure. But that's how it's supposed to be. But
let not a widow be taken in a number of 60 years old, having been the wife of one man, well reported of good work, are well reported of for her good work. If she have brought up children, if she have lodged strangers, if she has washed the saints' feet, if she have relieved, and afflicted the afflicted, if she have diligently followed every good work, but the younger widow refused, for when they have begun to wax wanton against Hamashiach, they will marry, having damnation because they have cast off the first faith.
Yeah, so technically you don't get the title of mom until you're 60. I think it's 60, it's 3 score. Yeah, yeah. So technically you're not supposed to get that title, of mom. All right. It's still used younger than 60, but mother, be a mother in the face. But
verse 13. And withal they learn to be idle, wandering about from house to house, and not only idle, but tattlers also, and busybodies, speaking things which they ought not.
Yeah, saying things about what your husband ain't doing right and all that, you know. Well, that's your business, and that's your opinion. What he ain't doing right.
And I will therefore that the younger women marry, bear the children, and guide the house.
Yeah, that's a woman's job, not to be career-minded. Right? You're supposed to be an expert Chick-fil-A replica maker and chocolate cake maker, upside-down cake maker. You're supposed to know how to do all that. Right?
Finish? It says, give none occasion to the adversary.
Go back to the verse.
So it's 1 Timothy 5:14. Now, therefore, that the younger woman marry, bear the children, guide the house, give none occasion to the adversary to speak reproachfully.
Yeah, and he got plenty of reason to speak reproachfully now. How out of order our women are. So he's speaking reproachfully right now because our women are not in order, and our men ain't in order either. All right, but that's referring to it's referring to both topics about the men leading and all that, and then the woman guiding the house and bearing the children. All right? Is that it?
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty much.
All right. Yeah, Khan, this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 31, and I'm going to start at 10, and I'm going to read down to verse 15, because that's the point. Go through it quickly. This is Proverbs 31 at 10. Who can find a virtuous woman, for her price is far above rubies? Now, it's very difficult in today's day and time to even find a virtuous woman. But I'm bringing it out for the sake of the women that have faith. This is what you should aspire to be like. These are the type of qualities that you want to adapt to and strive for. That's why I'm bringing this out. For the women who actually believe, this is something that is beneficial to you, but something that you should strive for. Okay? Something that would be considered a good work. All right? We're going to go into the word virtuous just real quick. The Hebrew there is chayo. And we're going to get the root too. But just starting with the Hebrew chayo, it means strength, might, or efficiency. Now the word efficiency means to do something with minimum wasted effort or expense and energy. Minimum wasted effort, expense, or energy. Now, a lot of women are not efficient. Why? Because they're constantly consuming. Constantly consumed. They're constant consumers, man. Right? They own the majority of the consumer debt, right? So a goal is to be less in the mindset of consumerism, right? Use what you have at your disposal to use, as opposed to looking beyond as to things that are maybe unnecessary or extra at that point, right? A woman always wants to think more in terms of having things that aren't really necessary or relevant, and looks over and undermines what she has at her disposal, right? So be more efficient. Men know how to be efficient. They know how to have a little bit and make it go a long way. You know? That's a strength of a man. But again, we're talking about women and things that they could aspire and work towards, right? Now the root there is chawal, all right, or chol. And I'm just going to get to the point. It says to wait longingly, right? No. A lot of women act on impulse. They need to have things right now. Like anytime a woman gets in anticipation for anything, she gets really anxious. Like that's a particularly a quality or trait of a woman, you know? Women are very impatient, so they do things impulsively because they need to have that gratification now. Now you have men like that, but that's really more inherently a feminine trait, you know? So women need to be more patient, right? Now, why am I saying that? Because the certain tasks that the brother's going into as far as preparing meals and taking care of the house, that's rigorous and laborious work. Nobody's saying that it's not. So you got to build a level of discipline even as a woman, right? And coming out of this mindset of the world, you're used to having things a certain way. Now, right? being impulsive, right? So you got to build that mentality. You know, talking about the women, you know? But reading on, it says, the heart of her husband doth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. Now this is, again, things that you women that believe should be aspiring to, working towards, okay? She seeketh wool and flax and worketh willingly with her hands. And you got women out there that actually have the ability to make clothes. A lot of y'all women are responsible for making brothers' garments. It's a very beautiful work, and you get commended for that, you know? And here's the point. She is like the merchant ships. She bringeth her food from far. She riseth also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household. So that's what we're going into, mainly the topic of food and preparation of food, right? So that's an aspect and a quality that a woman should aspire to look to do, okay? She riseth also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household, and a portion to her maidens, which, you know, woman took care of the entirety of the house, all right? Even her servants. But anyway, that's the point, okay? She riseth also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household, all right? So that was the point. We can go to the next one.
Help me. Genesis 2 verse 18. And the Lord power said, it is not good that man should live alone. I will make him and help meet for him.
Right, and that's the woman. She can help me. And you know, when they look today, they look at it as, you know, they're being demonetized, meaning they can't make money. All right, that's not true. And they're being made as a servant, but they are. You got to be okay with being a servant.
Well, literally, that's what the word woman means, right? That's what the word woman means. It literally means to be a servant. Yeah. Right. But see, they attribute being a servant means mistreatment. No, you're conflating two different things. You could be a servant, all right, and still have, let's say, a prominent role in a relationship to the degree to which it applies. To which it applies. Meaning you have value, you're bringing in value, and then y'all are creating value together. That's the importance of your role. When they're operating harmoniously. It's not a bad thing, it's a good thing. When you're serving me, what am I doing? I'm providing you with substance, security, safety. If I happen to be a man of the Lord, man, exactly. That's the gateway to our ticket out of here. So that's very beneficial to you to assume your position while the men, we assume ours.
Childbearing slash being with an elect man. That's the only way you're going to be delivered. Right? So you have to get with an Israelite man. Or if you're not with them, you better get near them. All right? If you ain't, because you might be like a 70-year-old woman in that fact. Okay? Well, you better get near them. The Lord going to make it so that the Lord puts you near an elect man.
We can get the book of Titus for that in the cover about how to deal with old women. Because they can still provide to the church. Doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to marry them, because they need new bodies too. But they can, exactly. But if they come near us, there's certain things that they're able to do that, again, is commendable works and acts to their benefit. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, something else I wanted to add to that, but that's all right. Yep.
Help the poor, one who helps.
Who helps. you go. The woman, you got to be okay with that. If you are the elect lady, you got to be okay with being a helpmate and not being in front, not being in charge. Right. Because the time of Jacob's trouble come, the Israelite, the elect man is going to become very aggressive. He's not going to be negotiating with you and all that. All right? He ain't going to be hurry the fuck up and you going to look at him like he's crazy. No, I ain't going to be none of that, because if you look at him like he's crazy, he might just get rid of your ass. So you got to be 100% compliant. So you better practice now. That would be beneficial instead of having to hurry up and get compliant later. Get the training now. But the scriptures say that we are rehearsing the righteous act. So we're supposed to be in training technically right now. Every Israelite that's in the faith is supposed to be in training right now. The man and the woman.
I just want to say real quick, it's written in the scriptures that we are literal prisoners of hope. To a simpleton, prison sounds like a pretty bad place. Well, in the physical world it is, but spiritually, being subject to the Heavenly Father is your best bet. So the way a woman's supposed to be a servant unto us and serve us is similarly to how we are literally servants to the Most High, which is the most beneficial place to be. Right? Because as it is written, it is a terrible thing to fall into the hands of living power. So we want to maintain under His good graces. So I'm okay with being a prisoner of hope. Right? I'm okay with being subservient to the Lord and working out my salvation with fear and trembling. And wherever He wants me to go, I'm going to go. That's it. The best place to be is under the Lord's control. You know? Abaratazah, we fulfilling His will, you know, and righteousness and in truth. That's it. And that's the order. That's 1 Corinthians, the 11th chapter. So for any woman that got a problem with that, you know, you against the Messiah. Lord ain't with you. And you're not really for the truth. You ain't really woke. All right? But go ahead, brother.
The definition for support
is
a noun, assistant and support in times of hardship and distress. So you're supposed to be a pillar of rest in the time of distress. Not a pillar of stress, a pillar of rest.
Yeah, you ain't supposed to be adding to the trouble.
Because a woman's stress is not supposed to be, it's just supposed to be things involved in the house. Yeah. Not shit going on out in the world. That's our stress. So she shouldn't be complaining about her, her back hurt from working all day and out in the field, on the plantation. Her back should be hurting for cooking and cleaning, which it ain't that damn hard if you organize. But these women act like this shit was like monumentally difficult. And the worst thing that ever happened to a woman was to cook and clean, and guide the house. But it's really simple. It's just women are fucking lazy and they're full of demonic spirits. So that was it. That was it. You had something on mind? No. That's it.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, hey, we hope you were edified. You want to give, of course, all honor, glory, and praise to our power. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, all right, who rule well. Shalom to all the hopeful elect scattered abroad the four winds of the earth. And, hey, Kwam Yasha'Allah, Abad Babal, Shalom.